just turned 70. Now what?
I remember a folk song of my youth, and it went a little like this. Can you imagine us years from today, sharing a park bench quietly? How terribly strange to be 70.
So I think the best way to talk about this is to take a ride on the bike. Being 70 is not all that bad. Let's see what we can do to become the best version of ourselves. First thing we can do is stop standing around and get on the bike. So it's the middle of February and it's 53 degrees out here in Connecticut. Beautiful day for a bike ride. So we're talking about turning 70. Well, let's say turning 30, turning 40, turning 50, 60, whatever. It seems like a new decade is always a little traumatic, isn't it? Seems like I was 50 only yesterday. Some people are saying that 70 is the new 50. Don't you believe it? 70 is 70. And you got to make the best of it. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to make sure you don't have any excuses. You got to keep yourself in shape. Talk to your doctor. Make sure vigorous exercise is good for you. And if it isn't, what do you need to do to get there? And there are really no excuses, are there? You probably know I'm a big fan of Casey Neistat. He's quite a character. He had a friend, his name was Quentin Canahan. And Quentin was in his mid-40s when he passed away. To say that Quentin had challenges in life is a vast understatement. So you see, he was born with broken bone syndrome, and he was severely handicapped. His limbs didn't really grow very much, and he was wheelchair bound his whole life. But what was his attitude? His attitude was no excuses. In fact, he was the kind of person that did anything that he set his mind to. He started a movie. Quentin considered himself very fortunate. In fact, he said that he grabbed the brass ring in life and was very blessed. I encourage you to look him up on YouTube. And his mantra was, no excuses, be the best you can be. So I'm not comparing myself to Quentin, I never could. But as an example, he and others like him, people that I've known in my personal life, have been an inspiration to me to be the best I can be and make no excuses. So what does that mean when you're older? You work out a lot, you ride your indoor bike, when the weather's bad, you get out there and you go on long distance bicycle rides, but you may find that you don't have the energy that you once had. Well, on my last bicycle tour, I found myself walking up a lot of hills that I used to be able to ride up. So what did I do? I put a lower gear cassette on my bicycle so that I'll be able to get up those hills that I found myself walking up last year.
There's something at the front door.
New cassette. Now here's the extender. It's called a road link, and it actually adds 3/4 of an inch to the position of the derailleur, lowering it a bit, therefore accommodating a larger cluster. Okay, time for a disclaimer. What I did with my cassette and with my derailleur is not recommended by the Shimano company nor your local bike shop. In fact, I only did it because I'm very familiar with my bicycle, having ridden this derailleur system for thousands of miles, and it works just fine for me. I'm not recommending that you do it yourself, but for me, it works just great. I've tested out that cassette today, and it's working really well, so I'm happy I did it. Quite a place here. Iron Horse Trike and Bike. They make tricycles, electric bicycles for handicapped people, wounded warriors, and the like, so they can get out and be all they can be. So what are your cycling plans for this year? I know it's important to plan ahead. That way you can do a few things, and one is, in the off season, you can keep yourself in shape by either riding on your stationary bike, taking a walk, doing whatever it takes to stay in shape. If you fail to plan, plan to fail. Planning is important. Jan and I have a few trips planned. I'm going to do one trip by myself, and that is from the Canadian border in New York State all the way down to Battery Park in Manhattan in New York City, down near where the Statue of Liberty is. And that's about 440 miles, I believe. Jan and I are going to go out to Pennsylvania and do the Gap Trail from Pittsburgh to Cumberland, Maryland. And then we're going up to Montreal. In north of Montreal, there's a really cool trail that is about 120 miles long, I believe. We're going to do that one with some friends and a lot of other little adventures. I'd be interested to know, what do you got planned? It's important to keep up your fitness to be the best you can be. The older you get, it seems like quicker that you lose your fitness if you decide to take a rest for a while. It takes a while to get back into it. So we started out this ride talking about that song from the 60s where it says how terribly strange to be 70. Well, I say how terribly exciting to be 70. Let's do this. Almost done with my ride for today. Check out this beautiful river. It's one of my favorite rides up here. It's about 3 miles from my house, and couldn't be any nicer, especially on a beautiful day like today. Headed back to the car, and I'm in the beautiful little town of Riverton, Connecticut. Very nice old New England. Look who I found up here. I found Jan.
Hello.
Hi. How was your walk?
It was wonderful.
Good.
What a day.
Okay, time to get back in the car. Back to Darth Vader. Well, that's the end of the video for today. I know it's been a while since I put a video out, a few months. Thank you for sticking around and waiting for this one. My next video is very exciting for me. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I bought a new bike. I like my old bike, I'm always going to use it, but I bought a new bike, I'm going to use it on my next tour. All I'm going to tell you is for my next tour, that new bike is going to be a priority for me. So stay tuned, in a couple of weeks I'll have a review of my new bike. Thanks again for watching, and happy cycling.